Back at the White House this morning for the first time since President Trump's return to office, they're expected to sign an agreement to share Ukraine's natural resources.
The meeting between President Trump and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky would mark a shift in the two leaders' relationship after a tense few weeks. The president notably calling Zelensky a dictator without elections. The framework would give the U.S. access to the revenues from Ukraine's vast reserves of minerals. Ukraine's resources include titanium, lithium, and nickel. The president says the minerals deal is beneficial for Ukraine and the American people, whom in his view will now be compensated for the military and financial aid the U.S. has given Ukraine.
Fox's Madeline Rivera in D.C. President Zelensky has said he wants security guarantees from the U.S. as part of a deal. After his meeting with President Trump yesterday, British Prime Minister Keir Starmer tells Fox the administrations are discussing more cooperation.
Particularly on things like tech and AI.
And new cancer-fighting technology.
This idea of a moonshot, of whether together we could go for something what might bring about a cancer cure.
China's government accuses the Trump administration of blackmail with its new tariffs on Chinese imports.
The president says the tariff increase is in response to a continued flow of fentanyl from China into the United States. It's on top of a 10% duty levied on February the 4th. China's foreign ministry maintains that Washington is using the fentanyl crisis as an excuse to put tariff pressure on the country. Secretary of State Marco Rubio telling Fox News China may be deliberately flooding America with fentanyl. Gary Baumgarten, Fox News.
A federal judge in San Francisco says Trump administration memos to federal agencies ordering mass firings are likely illegal and should be rescinded, but Judge William Alsup says he does not have the power to stop federal agencies from independently firing people. America's listening to Fox News.
It's time to throw your overpriced big wireless contract overboard. With a qualifying plan, you can choose an iPhone 14 or a Samsung Galaxy for $0. Pure Talk's U.S. customer service team will make the switch in as little as 10 minutes. No hassle, no gimmicks, just honest-to-goodness wireless price right. Dial pound 250, you say the keywords Pure Talk, claim your new iPhone or Galaxy with a qualifying purchase from Pure Talk, which is America's wireless company. Visit puretalk.com for details.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare information guide absolutely free. Call 800-939-1331. 800-939-1331. 800-939-1331.
There's really nothing new in a release of files on the late convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein promised by Attorney General Pam Bondi.
The couple hundred pages included much of what we've been seeing before, like flight logs, a contact book, and a redacted masseuse list, believed to refer to Epstein's potential victims in the case. Lawmakers like Representative Anna Paulina Luna expressing disappointment, posting on X, quote, "This is not what we or the American people asked for, and a complete disappointment." AG Bondi also accusing the FBI field office in New York of withholding files after learning from a source that there are thousands of more pages.
Fox's Chanley Painter. Today is the deadline for schools and universities to eliminate diversity initiatives or risk losing federal funding.
Today's deadline stems from the expansion of President Trump's executive order on diversity, equity, and inclusion programs. A letter sent on February 14th from Craig Traynor, the acting assistant secretary for civil rights at the Department of Education, cites a 2023 decision by the Supreme Court and directs learning institutions to stop using, quote, racial preferences in admissions, financial aid, and other areas. Funding at risk includes Title IX, support for special needs, and free or reduced lunches, to name a few. Legal challenges to the directive have already been filed, saying Trump's executive order violates the First and Fifth Amendments. Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
The former fire chief in Los Angeles wants her job back.
Kristen Crowley is appealing her termination to the Los Angeles City Council. She was fired by L.A. Mayor Karen Bass over her handling of the recent wildfires that devastated the city. Under the city charter, Crowley would need the support of 10 of the council's 15 members. At least 2 of the members have criticized her firing and encouraged her to appeal the decision. Chris DeMeo, Fox News.
New York's Governor Kathy Hochul says there's a deal to end corrections officer strikes at state prisons that started last week. Chris Foster, Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Attorneys for the former Sangamon County Sheriff's deputy charged in the killing of Son DeMassey last year wants his trial relocated. Sean Grayson's lawyers filed a motion saying they don't believe he can get a fair trial in Sangamon County due to multiple factors, including extensive media coverage of the case. Illinois touting a growing amount of medical debt relief in the state. The medical debt relief program has abolished more than $220 million in medical debt for another 170,000 individuals statewide. The average amount of debt abolished per person during this round, nearly $1,300. Doug Scott will remain the head of the Illinois Commerce Commission. The Illinois State Senate confirmed him as chairman of the ICC. He was reappointed to a 5-year term in January last year after serving out the remainder of former chairman Kerry Zalewski's term. Scott previously served in the role from 2011 to 2015. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
All right, made it. Friday. Yay, end of the month. March tomorrow. Come on, man.
That's right.
I'm fired up. Let's go.
Crazy how fast this year is flying by.
Meteorologist Greg Solier, can you believe March is tomorrow? Come on, man.
I like that. Yeah. We've made it through the vast majority of wintertime. Days are longer, the sun is up, and the weather, I'm working on it.
You know, it's, again, my strategy is December, January. December's got Christmas, and January's a long one, and February's a short one. Now we're here again.
And here we are.
Week from tomorrow, we spring ahead on the clocks an hour, too. So you got that going for you.
There you go. Nice work. Well done. Glass is half full.
Yeah, and the snowbirds look like geniuses more and more to me. I think, why would I be here? It's dark. It's cold, man. I'm happy.
For just a little while in the year.
No, it's not. Listen, it's pretty good. Can you imagine living in Anchorage?
I don't.
No.
Man, I mean,
no.
Or Duluth, or Fargo. Oh.
Yeah, or any of those areas that you don't see the sun for 2 or 3 months at all.
Saskatchewan or Manitoba. I mean, that's our 51st state pretty soon. I think.
Hey, anyway. Broken Bow, Nebraska a couple of weeks ago. What was it, 30 below?
Yeah, crazy.
All right, it's our meteorologist Greg Solier, brought to you this morning by the Urbana Park District.
And they remind you they've got their health and wellness center. I've been seeing members chime in, say how great this facility is. In fact, there's people having meetings there too. There's meetings rooms, pickleball, open gym. Learn more about being one of their more than 1,000 members at UrbanaParks.org.
Okay, sir, the floor is yours. Meteorologist Greg Solier describing to you in detail and accuracy at 99.99%.
Well, thank you.
What we look like for the weekend, friends.
The weekend's going to get colder around here, so it behooves you to get out and enjoy today, but hold down and glue it down and tie it down good and tight. It will blow pretty good through here. Wind advisories extend from all the way down as far south as Kentucky and upstream across the Dakotas in that corridor, and then northeast through Michigan and southwest towards the Mississippi. Maybe 45, 50 mile winds out of the west or southwest for the day today. There's snow, but not here. Up through parts of northern and central Michigan. May eke a sprinkle out off to our north and east this afternoon. Otherwise, the next significant moisture maker, and we ought to have a fair amount of it. There ought to be some opportunities to recharge these drier soils, still moderate to drought conditions and abnormally dry weather through a wide area. We'll get those rains in here late Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. But in the meantime, sunny, windy, warmer for the day today. Get out and enjoy. You are granted the extended lunch hour by the weather guy at 64, but it's the southwest to west wind on the increase at 20 to 35, gusts 45 to 50 miles per hour this afternoon and evening time, and that wind advisory by and large continues on into the early to mid afternoon. For tonight, windy turning colder, fair and 28. Tomorrow, breezy, much colder, partly cloudy, and a high just 36. Ouch, with a northwest wind 12 to 22 and gusty but diminishing in the afternoon. Clear, cold tomorrow night, 18, sunshine and 40 on Sunday. Monday, increasing clouds, breezy 46. We're back into the 50s Tuesday, part of Wednesday, and late Tuesday, Wednesday, rain, maybe an inch and a half worth, but temperatures fall on Wednesday, a couple of snowflakes Thursday, dry next Friday, daytime temperatures back to more seasonal levels into the low to mid 40s. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
All right, off and running. Here we go. Good morning. It is February 28th. That's Diane Ducey.
Good morning.
I am Stevie J, and so Mike Woodson in Indiana, the man who got booed, the man that had to endure chants of fire Woodson. That'd be pretty brutal, particularly since you're like, who is Mike Woodson like? He would be like, I don't know, Kindlegill.
Okay.
That kind of level.
Yeah.
beloved by the Hoosier
Competitive.
Well, he's a big star.
Yeah.
He was a 1980 star for Bobby Knight.
From Indianapolis. He's 66.
Yeah. So anyway, the Hoosiers, after he said, "I'm all right, I'll quit," and so then all of a sudden the Hoosiers started playing better basketball.
Oh boy.
To the point now where they went from new coach, who we hiring to, hey, they might make the NCAA tournament. They beat Purdue twice. So this is after the Purdue game, you kind of see they beat Purdue twice. That's a lot.
Yeah.
What you said at halftime, because the way your kids came out in the second half defensively was really impressive.
Told you before the game, we had been playing some pretty good basketball, and I had to try to get it.
All the players came over now. They're rubbing his bald head. They're hugging him. No, the fans are cheering. The fans are cheering for Mike Woodson at Indiana. And then he comes back to the microphone. Can't talk, he's crying. He's crying.
We've been playing pretty good ball, and I just got to get him over the hump because we've been in a lot of games that we weren't able to.
And notice the fans.
And make it happen.
You know where Schnucks is? Obviously, Aiden works there.
Yeah, in Savoy.
Right in Savoy. That used to be Festival Foods.
Oh, yeah.
And so they closed because not enough people went. And then when they were kind of liquidating things, some of the workers saw all the people going in and called them jackals. Jackals. So the Hoosier fans, oh, Mike Woodson.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, he's wonderful. Well, now they might have a mini problem. Probably won't happen. But what if they make the tournament? What if they go to the Sweet 16? It's awkward.
Yeah, what is the deal with Mike now?
Because at some level, you're so good job.
Uh-huh.
And there's a core, though, that will always want to get rid of you.
That's right.
There are people who want to get rid of Brad Underwood.
The coach is never good enough.
No. I mean, you lose a few games in a row and it's fire the guy. Brad won the most games in the Big Ten in the last 5 years. I heard people say, we need a new coach. Are you kidding?
Uh-huh.
Are you kidding? Remember when it wasn't like that? You remember?
Our fickle fans.
Oh, my gosh. Fanatics.
Yep.
When you say fanatic.
That's short for?
Wacky.
Yep.
So if you're wacky and then they call you whack for short, like fan, you don't, but we're just all wacky. Not reasonable. Anyway, so Mike Woodson's in this position of at least going out well, but there's got to be a couple of administrators going, oh, no, they need to lose. They just need to lose. We can't get into that. Well, he's doing such a good job. No, there's a core all over the chat boards, everything else. They're screaming about, their next big coach. Get Mike Krzyzewski out of retirement. I mean, you dream big when you're in that spot.
Played for Bob Knight between 1976 and 1980.
Yeah, and that was a prime time for the Hoosiers. I think they won the 75 national title, or was it 76? There's a time the Hoosiers went 32-0.
Man.
Undefeated. Last team to go undefeated in college basketball was the Indiana Hoosiers. 32-0. Unbelievable. All right, jump to some more morning sports. Illinois will be on the road this weekend. We got Shauna Green's final home game for the women who will make the NCAA, I sure think.
Yeah.
Anyway, and then the guys play at Michigan man, what is it about the state of Michigan? You had Michigan State throwing a 60-footer last night. The Wolverines down one with 3 seconds threw in a 28-foot shot to win.
Yeah.
Come on, man. They beat Rutgers, who'd played very well.
84-82 was the final.
But it was 82-81, and they threw that thing in at the horn.
Wow.
Oh, my God.
Well, you see in warm-ups or something when they're wrapping up practice, they take a lot of these half-court shots just for kind of fun.
Yeah.
And a lot of them do sink them.
No, listen.
And it's good to be familiar with that move, I guess.
I guess you've got to practice some of that.
Right.
But to make it, it's a different deal.
Crazy.
Unreal.
So we, like you said, the Women's Senior Day, Michigan at the State Farm Center. I'd like to see a big crowd, 12:30 for the tip-off. And the men are 2:45 in Ann Arbor against number 15 Michigan, who beat Rutgers yesterday, 84-82. As far as other Illini in action, the Las Vegas College Classic, where the Illinois baseball team is in Las Vegas to take on Texas Tech today at 4. Washington. Number 15, Texas, also involved in that tournament. Illini softball down in Arkansas to take on number 11, Arkansas. Missouri State is also involved in that tournament. So lots of Illini in action this weekend. That's essentially sports.
Yeah, you're fighting something. Huh?
I know. Have a little bit of a cold.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
No, it's okay.
I'm Dan Ducey instead of Diane Ducey today.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So we're going to talk to my son Christian, who owns the CrossFit gym. I'm participating. Why? In the Open. It's CrossFit Open.
Yeah.
CrossFit is, he'll explain functional fitness to where if I'm around the house, I can twist my body and lift the box.
Yeah.
Because you get to our age, my age, not your age, I'm way older. Then you can, coughing can throw your something, right? I mean, right? No. There you go.
Just now.
No. So it's just what it is. I've concluded in my aging, hey, if I stay still and don't move, then I'll stay still and won't move.
Yeah, got to keep moving.
And I've also concluded, this is pretty profound now, so don't miss this. The more you sit,
yeah,
that should be something people repeat here in 500 years.
Darn it.
Stevie J once said, the more you sit, man, he must have been brilliant. Because it's true, you get the recliner going and you're just not active. And then you mean to go for a walk, but you didn't because it was raining. Right? I mean, there's a zillion. So I got into it mostly because Christian, and then the fact that there's a community, it's really cool. I think, church is probably your number one community, but I bet CrossFit's too.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a mingle of people doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And I like it also because it lasts sometimes it lasts 10 minutes.
Oh, wow. Just a quick power workout.
Well, you remember the late, great Warren Honeycutt.
Yes.
Who passed away during COVID.
Our sugar buster.
Yeah. He said that he works out 20 minutes. I'm going, what? So go jump rope for 20 minutes and tell me how that goes. Uh-huh. So it's intense, and you go, sometimes you're in the workouts, you'll get a minute between things, sometimes 2. And that's huge because you got to get your breath back. But for the most part, you're kind of done. I've just never been towel around my neck guy walking around, an hour and a half at the Y, and I love the Y. But I'm just saying that's kind of what happens. You rest in between, then you don't feel like it. You got another set, and there's really nobody around you, and you got to do it. And that's just, I've done everything like that. So I like the fact, let's go, let's get it done, and I'm leaving.
Yeah.
So there's been days I'll go in there, get warmed up, do the workout. I'm out in everything 30 minutes. Including the workout.
But CrossFit members are doing some kind of competition where they're entering their stats and competing with people across the world.
It's all over the world. There's CrossFits. You can go to any country and probably find a CrossFit gym. And so it's quite unusual. And it's on ESPN now every year. Today, this year, it's going to be in Albany in August. And you see the most fit people in the world. It is really stunning to see what these people can do. They just must have different type of lungs. So we'll chat about that because it's open tonight. It's called Open Gym, Friday Night Lights. And if you're curious and you just want to watch it, there's a lot of excitement. And you see schmoes like me trying to do the workout. Please don't come when I do it. Weather brought to you by Busey for over 155 years. Member FDIC. We'll check your Fox Business Minute. That will be coming up in just a moment. Stand by.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Eastern Illinois, Champaign and vicinity. Dynamic weather system poised well to the north with some snow through the northern Great Lakes region. We'll usher in a mild wind-blown day's worth of weather today. Colder air settles in for the upcoming weekend. A modest recovery early next week and an impressive rainmaker. More than an inch expected. We need considering the degree of dryness and drought scheduled in here the first half of next week. But heads up on the wind advisory for the day today. Sunny, rather windy, turning much warmer at 64 at southwest to west wind 15 to 25 on the increase to 20 to 35, gust to 45 to 50 miles per hour later this morning into the afternoon. Tonight, windy turning colder, fair sky and 28, diminishing west-northwest wind for the night tonight, but still runs at 12 to 22 tomorrow. Partly cloudy, breezy, much colder at 36. We'll bottom out near 18 tomorrow night. Sunshine and 40 on Sunday, 46 on Monday. Rain back in late Tuesday and Wednesday next week. High temperatures by Wednesday, briefly back to the 50s. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solje.
Take charge of the years ahead with a smart, sound investment strategy and business succession plan. Busey Bank's business and wealth management experts help you envision your best future with powerful insights and proven strategies. Building business and growing wealth since 1868, Busey Bank proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Investors are anxiously awaiting the release of the Federal Reserve's preferred inflation measure, the PCE index. It's scheduled to be released this morning. Shares of Valeo falling in European morning trading Friday as economic and technological uncertainty impact its customer base. The French auto parts supplier said car makers have canceled or delayed billions of dollars worth of orders. The Financial Times is reporting that Citigroup mistakenly credited $81 trillion to a customer's account. The amount was supposed to be $280. The incident occurred in April. It was missed by a payments employee and a second official checking the transaction. It took hours to correct. Citigroup said the incident did not have any impact on the bank or the client. And that's your Fox Business Report. I'm Laura Cantor, invested in you.
From the Fox News Podcasts Network. Listen to the all-new Bret Baier podcast featuring Common Ground, talking to lawmakers weekly from opposite sides of the political spectrum about the issues of the day and how Americans can find common ground in a politicized world.
That's just not happening on Capitol Hill. It takes leadership, right?
Yeah, it absolutely does.
Along with all your Bret Baier favorites like the campaign, the candidates, the all-star panel, and much more. Available now at foxnewspodcasts.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
When you're looking for your next vehicle, be sure to stop at Sarah Champagne and listen to Merez.
Hi, I'm Merez Johnson Jr., power forward for the University of Illinois basketball team. The only place you should shop for your next vehicle is Sarah Champagne, home of Honda, BMW, Buick GMC, and Subaru. Why? Because they treat you like family every time. Take it from me, Merez Johnson Jr. Sarah Champagne will be the last dealership you will ever work with.
Learn more at sarahchampagne.com. That's SERRA champagne.com.
At Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery, we're flooring people with amazing service, great design advice, and unbeatable selection and the best prices in town. It's the perfect time to update your home with waterproof flooring, carpet, hardwood, tile, and more. Then complete your rooms by shopping our incredible selection of furniture and accessories. We also offer great financing options. Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery, we're flooring people.
Well, he's not been on very much, but he's Christian's son, I guess, right?
There you go.
Christian's son.
Yeah.
Identifies him as my son. How are you, Christian? What's going on, man?
Hey, I'm good. Thanks a lot for having me on.
That's a nice voice, isn't he?
Yeah, he does.
Dang, my kids all have better voices than I do. What the heck?
We'll attribute it to, first 30 minutes of the day. Catch me a couple hours from now, it's probably not quite as good.
No, it's a really nice voice. Christian, all right, so it's going on actually 3 years since you purchased the CrossFit gym on University at 5th. It's in the Latitude building. Is it really coming up on 3 years? Man.
Yeah, October 2022. It's been just over 4 years of doing CrossFit now, which is equally as crazy. But yeah, started at UAV, kind of had the opportunity to purchase it in fall of 2022, and inherited an incredible business, incredible community that I'm sure we'll get to talk a little bit about this morning.
Yeah, okay, so I'm trying to describe, because I've done it all. I've weightlifted, a little running, a little this, a little that. But, let me ask you, what was it that first really got you in? I know Grace encouraged you to go try it, and then you got in it, and you really got in it. What is it about CrossFit? I feel the same way. What is it about that makes you say, man, this is the best exercise I've ever been part of?
Yeah, no, it really is. It's two things for me, and I repeat this to everyone anyone that asks. I always say the workout brought me back for the second visit, and the community is what made me a member for the last 4 years and forever. It truly is just such a friendly environment. My staff has done an incredible job of creating a culture and a community that no matter what you're doing, no matter who you are, no matter how many times you've been, you're going to be greeted with a smile, you're going to be pushed, you're going to be challenged, you're going to do something that leaves you feeling accomplished, and just you have that kind of camaraderie with everyone is there with similar goals, similar mindsets, and you get to know these people beyond just, first name basis attending the same class. You just get to know their family, and you hang out outside of class, and you attend University of CrossFit socials together and all these different things, and you just really form this really tight-knit special community. And then the second thing that really is unique and special about CrossFit is every single day the workout is completely different. We might have similar muscle groups being used, but we rarely will ever have a repeat workout. We will have repeat movements from that, every now and then. You referenced jump rope earlier this morning, and maybe we'll jump rope 2 or 3 times a month, but every single day is completely different. Every single day is completely it's programmed or ready to go. You don't have to make any decisions about what to do. We will walk you through a movement-specific warm-up and then lead you through that workout, and you'll have your own equipment, your own space, but doing the workout that scales to who you are and where you're at. That's the big thing is CrossFit is completely 100% relative to your exact fitness level. And I remember I gave myself a hard time when I first started CrossFit. It's like, I'm not doing, all these movements, or I'm not doing X, Y, Z. But I had someone challenge me who had been there for a long time. Well, are you sweating? Are you working hard? That's all that matters. You're going to work out, you're going to work the same muscle groups. It might look a little different while you're learning how to do it, but you're going to get an incredible workout. Your fitness is going to improve. And you're going to get to belong to an incredible community.
Yeah, great explanation, because I think it kind of represents not only the University of Illinois, but the world. I mean, talk about diverse. I mean, you got PhD students, you got medical doctors and lawyers, you got all these people coming together, probably ages, 20 years old to 70, 75. I mean, the scale is important to say, okay, I don't want to get hurt. You don't have to. You're going to get a great workout. And I just keep pumping myself up saying, I don't have to match you. I don't have to match the best guys in there. But when I get done, I'm really tired, and I'm happy it was only 18 minutes. I love that. I love the fact
that's right.
It's quick. It's fast. You don't have to spend an hour and a half with a towel around your neck, which is that was me. So it's really fun.
I took for granted the weight of making, no pun intended, of making a decision of what to do when I would walk into the gym. Before CrossFit, I would force myself to get to the gym, and then I'd walk in and be like, okay, now what? What am I going to do? And that was always an exhausting decision. So I love that CrossFit is designed or programmed already, and you don't have to make any decisions on what to do, and we'll kind of walk you through it. And it's a lot of fun. It's really interesting to work on different skills, do movements you wouldn't otherwise find in another gym, and get to kind of challenge yourself in that way.
All right, the Open is starting. It's called Friday Night Lights at your gym. By the way, that's the only official CrossFit gym that participates in Champaign County. There used to be more, but you're the last labeled CrossFit with the brand and these games. So the people can come tonight, right? It's you can come watch it and see what it's about as these people compete. And it's really exciting to watch people with the clock running, having to get stuff done. And then you go to the leaderboard and you're tied with some guy in Iceland. Okay. So it's really cool.
Absolutely.
It's really cool. So what are you doing there? You're inviting people if they want just to see what it is.
Absolutely. No, tonight there's no better opportunity. Maybe, attending a class and doing a workout is just a little too intimidating for you. Absolutely get it. I was there when I first started CrossFit. I was nervous my first time ever going to UAV. But tonight is a great opportunity to just come hang out, get greeted by the community. Again, you'll be welcomed with a smile, and you'll have plenty of people to hang out with. We'll have plenty of spectators that are just there to cheer people on. We'll have heats of these workouts going on. Tonight's very different from our traditional class structure. Traditional classes are an hour, and it's the same schedule every evening. But tonight is different. We have 30-minute heats, so we can pack as many people in to do these workouts as possible. And so it's going to be fast-paced, going to be fast-moving. It's probably going to be confusing if you've never done CrossFit of what's happening, but you'll get to see what it's all about. You'll get to see the energy. You'll get to see people cheering people on, people working hard, people doing things they never thought they could. And it's of all levels, right? It's not just we have the elite of the elite. We'll have top 1 percentile athletes represented at UF CrossFit, and we'll also have people doing the Open for the very first time. who started a month ago.
Yeah.
So you'll get every representation of fitness. The Open does a great job where they have 3 divisions for competitors or for athletes doing these workouts. We have RX, which is kind of the standard of how the workout's designed. Scaled is kind of that more beginner phase, and then we even have a foundational level where it's even below scaled, where these are people who are just working out for the first time in their life, or maybe they're revisiting this kind of sort of fitness for the first time in a long time. But yes, tonight would be an awesome opportunity for you to come check it out. The energy will be similar to what you find in just a normal class, but it'll be really, really cool to be a part of. And it's just a really special thing that is unique to CrossFit to, as you said, be on a worldwide leaderboard and get to compare yourself against, Joe Schmo in Iceland, although his name's probably not Joe Schmo in Iceland, but also against, the top athletes in the world. So really, really cool, special part of CrossFit.
All right. Well, thanks for jumping on and explaining. It is a bit unique, but it truly is everything you've said, and it's a lot of fun. And Janet and I have enjoyed being part of that ever since you owned it. I probably would never have gone to anything like this had you not bought it, supporting my son. But hey, I'm probably not saying a ton. I'm probably in better shape than I have been in maybe ever.
No, that's right.
It's just
to all the listeners, and Diane, don't let him sandbag you. The dude gets after it. Dad is extremely fit. It's really fun to watch his fitness journey over the last 2 years and how much he's changed his body and his capabilities. But he gets after it. He works really hard. And he's fit.
That's awesome.
Looking around, though, I kind of suck. I mean, looking around, all these other, they're so fit. And so I guess that keeps you grounded thinking, because I am definitely not at the level, but I don't have to be. That's the point.
Right.
I don't have to be.
Well, that's right. And you always have something to chase, right? You always have a new movement you want to learn, a new skill you want to, improve. And that's the cool part of CrossFit as well, right? It's not just how do I look in the mirror. It's what am I doing and how is it changing?
That's right. That's exactly right. It's not power building, bodybuilding, nothing like that. It's I can lift the box in the garage that's up high. That's functional fitness. Christian son, good job. Thank you. I'll see you a little later today then.
All right. Thanks a lot. Thanks,
have a good one, Christian.
Good job. Thank you. Christian son, my son. Mm-hmm. I guess people get the pattern.
Married
here.
to Riley now. Such a good couple.
Oh, man. Riley's awesome.
His
wife of, since last August.
Yes.
Gracie, daughter. Would that be what I do if she's on? And Benjamin's son? Anyway, what would I call Janet? Janet wife.
Well, we were kind of going off Karate Kid on.
Yeah, that was the whole thing.
On Nathaniel's
son, right? Okay, do the news here in a second, and then we'll come back and get you some weather to make sure you're understanding the nice weather we have. If you want to ask some questions or you want to text in something, Jason Hegemeyer is coming on at just after 8:30 news. He's at the University of Illinois, and there's a new ticket deal.
Yes, on the seating.
It's kind of hard to explain because I'm having a hard time kind of understanding it.
I am too.
But it's essentially what happens, and I can confirm this, but when you have success, there's an opportunity to raise more money.
Yeah.
Because you're having success. Now, there's a lot of people that are unhappy because they've been displaced, and that's happened as we've gone along in the years. But let's get the explanation of what it takes to get the seats you want and all these other things, because I think we need to know, and we're coming up on some deadlines for football already.
Sounds good. We were talking about Purdue, and Scott texted in, Indiana only beat Purdue once. Go Boilermakers.
I think they won at Purdue, and they won at Indiana.
I checked, and it is split.
Purdue beat them? I swear Indiana beat them over there. Somebody beat Purdue over there. Anyway, okay, thank you. 1-1. But the Hoosiers are playing better. Okay, let's check your news.
Here's a look at local news. Illinois House Democrats proposed a bill in the committee that would add a task force to find the viability for gun insurance in the state. Task force would be made up of both gun right advocates and gun violence prevention advocates to find if the state could save more money if gun insurance was added to Illinois. 2 Champaign middle schools recognized by the Illinois State Board of Education for their improvement last year. Both Edison and Jefferson Middle School showing improvement in math and English language arts and a decrease of students being chronically absent. Champaign School District said the they focus more on creating quality environments in the classroom before moving to outside interventions. More than 26,000 people in Champaign County experience food insecurity. At least 100 people spent their Wednesday learning how they can bring that number down. People who signed up for the conference should choose which classes they felt would best fit them. United Way Health Coordinator said one of those is farmers growing produce in central Illinois but having to sell it to other areas. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Okay, Tim Onstad in charge of Dedicated Diesel and Gail Frericks Trucking. Where are we with Dedicated Diesel?
Yeah, we need to get over to the Dedicated Diesel and get those Dixie choppers out. I am instructing Andy over there, whatever Dixie choppers are there right now, to show people what we have invested in them, what our cost is, go $400 over that, and it's theirs.
When it comes to the mowers, you can really get things done quickly on the Dixie chopper, right?
That's for sure.
Oh, yeah. I cut mine down by about 2/3, going from a conventional garden tractor riding mower to a zero-turn Dixie chopper. Went, from 3 hours down to an hour.
And how do we reach Andy?
You can get Andy at 217-328-0562. Catch him on Dedicated Equipment on Facebook. Email him at abowman, BOWMAN, @gftlog.com.
And we check your weather with meteorologist Greg Solier, brought to you by Carl.
Carl's Heart and Vascular Institute offers specialized care to keep your heart healthy, happy, and in the right hands. Find out more about heart care at carl.org.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Central Illinois, Champaign, and vicinity, and a wind-blown Springfield expected for the day today, but those same winds will usher in a couple of cold fronts. Will drop temperatures down to a bit below average here for the weekend. Recover modestly early to mid next week, and a significant rain system due in across our neck of the woods, and we need it considering the degree of dryness and drought across East Central Illinois and beyond. Today, sunny, windy, much warmer, 64. That's 20 above average. Heads up, though. Southwest wind on the increase here, 20 to 30, gust to 40 to 45 miles per hour, if not higher, as that wind turns westerly this afternoon. A gradual drop off on winds tonight, and a fair colder night down to 28. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, breezy, much colder at 36. Clear tomorrow night, lighter winds, and a low down to 18, sunny and 40 on Sunday. Monday, 46 with increasing clouds. Rain back in here late Tuesday and Wednesday next week. 50s on Tuesday, part of Wednesday, and falling back to colder weather late next week with daytime temperatures Thursday and Friday in the low to mid 40s. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
And by the way, if you did want to come to CrossFit, 4:30 to 6:30 is a sweet spot. That's when you're going to see some people getting after it. And tonight's workout is a burpee. Does anybody remember a burpee?
So it's kind of like
you get down on the floor.
Bear crawl.
Wait, no, you jump to the floor.
Yeah.
And then you push yourself up, and you stretch your legs out. It's like you get down, and then you bring your legs all the way back.
Like a push-up form.
Yeah, and you go back and forth, up and down. And
right.
After each burpee, you jump over a dumbbell. So anyway, there's
that sounds horrible to me. I'm sorry.
And then there's you get the dumbbell and you press it over your head one hand at a time, and then the weight, of course, is determined on your ability, and it's scaled and everything else. So the women in the scale division, you would be doing a 10-pounder.
Okay.
You could do that.
I could probably do that.
You could do that. And then you have to do a lunge. You kind of walk, and your knee touches the ground, and you walk 30 feet.
Yeah.
And you keep doing that over and over for as many rounds as you can get in 15 minutes.
Wow.
And in that game, 15 minutes is it's like, again, jump rope for 15 straight minutes, and you get the feeling.
Right.
But that's where you have to scale it down to fit you. And that's what I do all the time. I cannot compete at the RX level.
Right.
It's just crazy what the guys and guys older than me. Some of the guys older than me, and it's just amazing the fit nature, and you feel so much better.
I just need to walk around the block and start there, and then maybe I'll get up to I'm comfortable enough to go to CrossFit.
Well, I think you just go for a walk.
There you go.
Start. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step.
Absolutely.
Let me effort Brother Johnny for a few minutes. Stand by.
In 1925, a small plumbing company began its journey in Urbana, Illinois. Over the decades, the business grew thanks to hard work and great people. In 1966, things changed when Dave Reichard, a veteran, met veteran Ken Asklin, who was an architectural engineering grad from Illinois. The two realized their shared vision for excellence. Their partnership took root, and in 1975, the name changed to A&R Mechanical. With Dave as president and Ken as vice president, A&R Mechanical expanded services, becoming the go-to full-service contractor for all of Central Illinois. A&R went from a plumbing-only contractor to a full-service mechanical contractor with their own sheet metal shop. Today, A&R is a plumbing, heating, ventilation service company with the same excellence in customer service as they provided nearly 100 years ago. Design, build, and maintain. That's what served A&R Mechanical for nearly 100 years. Find them at Lincoln and Kettering in Urbana or online at ar-mech.com.
Games, you're getting burned a little bit in the secondary. We're gonna dial that back a little bit, and you're only gonna have 25 snaps on defense this week. That's what I want to say.
You've convinced me. I like it.
I win arguments. What can I say?
Cool. Congrats. I wonder who number one's going to be on your list of the top 5 prospects that'll have the best
Wisconsin
career.
have anybody in this draft?
Number 1.
Not anybody that'll be in this one. I'll tell you that much. In the top 5.
Number 1 is Cam Ward, Miami Hurricane, Washington State Cougar. What's Incarnate Word's mascot?
Ricky Williams.
There you go.
Wasn't he an assistant coach there for a minute?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure Ricky Williams was a Heisman Trophy winner. That Ricky Williams was an assistant coach at Incarnate Word at one point.
Wow. All right, so I think that he is the best quarterback in this draft. I think he is, as I said earlier, is a culture changer.
Our friendly sales team help you to find just the right appliance, just the right price.
I'm Paul Reekin, and you know my dad, Dennis, for the famous
Wow.
Yeah, that's the one. That
Wow
is a Central Illinois tradition, decades in the making. It's our award-winning staff that puts the
Wow
in Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. We have in-house service, in-house appliance installation, a knowledgeable sales staff that will make sure you get the guaranteed best deal on your next appliance purchase. Oh, and let's not forget, a jingle that's been around for decades. Just like the quality service we provide, I'll make sure it's here for decades to come. We're the store that makes you say,
Wow.
We stand behind what we sell, we offer so much more. Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. When you buy from us, you get the whole store.
All right, Brother Johnny has jumped on the road today, headed to Indianapolis with Bobby. How are you, Johnny?
We're good. Nice day out here, Steve, and it's good to be around Central Illinois.
You betcha. It is good to be around Central Illinois in spite of some of the things we talk about. You know that the mayor of Chicago has to go in front of Congress and the committee about why he's protecting criminals in Chicago on the illegal immigrant thing? So he says, I'm not looking forward to it, but I will be true to Chicago as I always have been. His approval rating in Chicago, 17%.
Ooh, boy.
17?
Well, I think if he tries to explain why he's keeping criminals out on the street, it'll go to 7. But we'll see how he does it.
Oh, I wanted to play a clip of Ilhan Omar, and I think what it does, she's the congresswoman from Minneapolis, and I think what it does, it gives you a perspective of what they think of us, which I think kind of reflects what we think of them. So this is kind of, I can't believe she'd think like that, yet that's kind of what I think of them. Ben Shapiro introduces this.
I'm not sure I've seen a better example of the sort of continued scorn the Democrats have for everyday Americans than what was exhibited last night on Mehdi Hasan's show. He was joined on the air by the execrable congresswoman from Minnesota, Ilhan Omar. Here she is explaining that Americans are just stupid.
These people are just idiots. I really, I'm at the point where it's become really hard to have an intellectual debate with any of these people because the level of stupidity that they are displaying every single day is frankly embarrassing, not just in Congress, but as Americans. And the fact that these people are allowed to say just the most ridiculous things tells you that the dumbing of the United States has arrived, because how else do we get a Trump presidency again?
Wow.
Well, you said it. You could just transcribe that and put it on my AI voice, and that's what I would say about her. Not America, though. That's just a stupid statement. There's an intellectual discussion. That word doesn't come to mind when you mention Ilhan Omar to me, intellectual.
It's like we're flying at 10,000 foot altitude and the other person's flying at 30,000. It's just, how do you ever meet there? How do you possibly have a conversation when I think you're really the person that's struggling educationally, and you think I'm stupid. So how will we ever agree on anything?
Well, you won't, because the problem with her view is what we say shouldn't even be allowed to be said. How do we allow people to even say these stupid things? Well, we might actually be right. So what's going to happen if somebody like that censors you? And that's why we have free speech. But they really don't even understand that. I don't know where their logic gene went, but the common sense is what we use to describe it. But it's crazy. And you see what happens when people like that start making decisions that affect us. We lived through 4 years, pretty good illustration. And if you don't think it was from kind of upside down reasoning like that, it'll happen again, because you have to learn. Oh, wow, that kind of thing didn't work. So hopefully, I think there's more and more people going a little bit towards the middle, which is where we can get things done.
Yeah, but it's just phenomenal to me to have her articulate exactly what I think of them. Isn't that something?
No, right.
It's unreal.
No, because it's true. It's like, how can someone like her be saying something like this? What's happening to me? She's a congressman from Minneapolis, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
I don't know how they could have elected her multiple times. Yeah. And she said a lot of things that really wouldn't be called patriotic. And that doesn't mean you have to support your government. I think you need to speak out when you disagree with leadership or policy, but she's done way worse than that. So.
All right, Brother Johnny, a few more minutes. Gene Hackman passes away. Apparently, I think those folks who found in the house in Santa Fe, New Mexico, had been there, Johnny, for quite some time. Some of the gory details, morbid details are coming out. And no question, this is something that occurred who knows how long, but it'd been a while. Remember the Larry King live show? Larry King from Washington. Here's Larry King with Gene Hackman talking about, well, a political figure that Gene really respected.
But you loved President Reagan.
I did, yes. I'm a Democrat, but I also loved the idea of that man. He was so committed to America. A beautiful American.
Well, you never worked with him, right?
I didn't, but I met him, and it's funny, we have an occasion to meet a lot of famous people, being in this profession, and I was sitting outside the Oval Office thinking, well, I'll get this over with and go to lunch or whatever. When I got in the Oval Office, I was like, hey, this is really something. And I was very affected by it, and by him.
It hits you.
Yeah, it does.
That's pretty cool. Gene Hackman talking. And then there were two movies, Wyatt Earp and then No Way Out, or two movies that Kevin Costner worked with Gene Hackman.
Uh-huh.
And here's a story.
It's too long of a story, but I had one with Gene. When this scene came up, we had been doing every scene to that point around a desk, just like this. Every scene. I said to the director, I said, look, I don't feel like it's right. Gene Hackman standing there listening. I feel like it's over here, and it was like no one was saying anything. The director and I really butted heads on it. Finally, for whatever reason, Gene's just like listening. And finally, for whatever reason, I said, I don't care, it's here. And I hated to do that, but I just said, it's here. And I don't need all of our scenes here. It's here. Sure. So we did it. And at one point they were saying, well, what's Gene going to do? And I said, Gene will figure out what to do. Because he's really good. Gene will figure out what to do. So I do the scene, and we do it all day, and it's the scene now that's in the movie. And I remember as I was walking out to my car on MGM lot, Gene was getting in, and he goes, hey, I want to talk to you.
Uh-oh.
And I walked over, and he goes, look, man, if you ever do that in front of me again, I'm just going to, the way you disrespect, I'm just going to tell you, that's not what he said. Mm-hmm. That's what I thought he was going to say.
What did he say?
He looked at me and he said, hey, I went through a divorce. I've been doing a lot of kind of questionable movies lately. And when I saw you fighting for what you wanted today, he said it reminded me of how I used to feel about acting. He says, it was good what you did. And then he just got in his car and drove off.
Wow. And then finally, Hoosiers locker room before the big game.
love you guys.
I love you guys. That's so good. Johnny, he's one of my favorites for sure.
Well, no question. One of the best, and I loved watching his movies. It's funny that the movie he thought would probably end his career was probably what he's known for the best, Hoosiers.
I know. I mean, I've said this before, but he thought it was absolutely disaster. He told actor Dennis Hopper on the bench during the filming, when Dennis Hopper laughs, he's laughing because Gene Hackman said, "Dennis, we had better save our money because this will be the last movie either of us are in." And then he saw the premiere. He walked up to the director and said, "How did you do that?" It's just Mark. And then
No, it's a good movie.
Hoosiers is 1986.
Wow.
That's crazy. All right, Johnny, on the road. We'll talk Monday with you. I know you'll be around, so it'll be fun.
All right, Stevie J, we are headed to Indy, and we're going right through Gene Hackman's hometown, Danville, Illinois.
Danville, Illinois. Yeah, amazing.
I think it's the McDonald's off Gilbert that listener had texted in. They have a little bit of a tribute going on for Gene Hackman, and really the Van Dyke brothers, and was there
O'Connell and Short?
That's
I mean, there are
right,
5
Short.
famous people from Danville.
And there's some a little bit of a tribute with some pictures and things like that. In case you wanted to have McDonald's exit off the Gilbert exit there and enjoy the Gene Hackman tribute.
Was Babe Ruth from Danville? Seems like
They filmed the movie
That's
Babe.
right.
They filmed a
in
movie.
the Danville Stadium.
John Goodman played Babe in Danville Stadium, and they filmed it. But no, he's not from there. Johnny, all right, be safe. Safe travels.
All right, thanks a lot. See you guys.
Talk
Have
to
a
you
good
soon,
weekend.
Brother Johnny on the road. All right, it's ESPN 93.5. It is 7:51. We're going to check your weather with our meteorologist, Greg Solier. We'll do that now. And I'll give you an idea of a little colder this weekend, but still, it's March 1 tomorrow, friends.
Hello again, at Free One. Let's check weather for Eastern Illinois, Champaign, and vicinity. Dynamic weather system poised well to the north with some snow through the northern Great Lakes region. We'll usher in a mild, wind-blown day's worth of weather today. Colder air settles in for the upcoming weekend. A modest recovery early next week, and an impressive rainmaker. More than an inch expected. We need considering the degree of dryness and drought scheduled in here the first half of next week. But heads up on the wind advisory for the day today. Sunny, rather windy, turning much warmer at 64 at southwest to west wind 15 to 25 on the increase to 20 to 35, gust to 45 to 50 miles per hour later this morning into the afternoon. Tonight, windy turning colder, fair sky and 28, diminishing west-northwest wind for the night tonight, but still runs at 12 to 22 tomorrow. Partly cloudy, breezy, much colder at 36. We'll bottom out near 18 tomorrow night. Sunshine and 40 on Sunday, 46 on Monday. Rain back in late Tuesday and Wednesday next week. High temperatures by Wednesday, briefly back to the 50s. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
This is XYZ Insurance. How can I help?
I have a question about my home policy.
Okay, question about phone policy.
Home policy.
Okay, gnome policy.
HOME, home.
Technology is great, but sometimes it's better to talk with a real person. With Erie Insurance, you have a caring, independent agent who's with you from beginning to end.
We don't have any HOMEs on record.
Your Erie agent in Champaign is Thomas & Ellers Insurance. Go to erieinsurance.com for company licensure and product details.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
Kelsey Furniture in downtown Tuscola sells Tempur-Pedic beds. What's it like?
I'm going to tell you right now, Stevie, that thing is the best thing I've ever slept on in my life. My wife and I both have said we've never had better night's sleep. And the people at Kelsey's were fantastic. Brian is the guy that helped us. You know, as much as I did my research, he had a world of knowledge about beds themselves. Oh, man, it's like sleeping on a cloud, man.
Kelsey Furniture, downtown Tuscola.
Drive in, drive out. Recycling's what Max is all about. You can make some cash and do your share. We make it really simple because we care. It doesn't matter large or small. Our friendly staff will handle it all. Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
At Carpet Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery, we're flooring people with amazing service, great design advice, and unbeatable selection and the best prices in town. It's the perfect time to update your home with waterproof flooring, carpet, hardwood, tile, and more. Then complete your rooms by shopping our incredible selection of furniture and accessories. We also offer great financing options. Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery, we're flooring people.
All righty. We're going to hold on. We're going to play. I want to play a Tom Izzo. Tom Izzo 2 nights ago, they won on a 60-foot shot.
Yeah. And
Izzo's just having a. I mean, your coach of the year is probably Tom Izzo, but Dusty May up in Michigan.
Yeah.
Man, they're 14-3. It's 14-4, 14-3. Anyway, they're half game behind Michigan State,
Right.
whatever that means. Anyway, they're very close, both Michigan and Michigan State, but. And
so we could shake things up on Sunday.
Well, we could certainly
beat
take
Michigan.
We would essentially eliminate Michigan from. I'm not sure the count. I think they're both about 14-3. But anyway, it's a battle for Michigan State and Michigan for the title, regular season. But we all know what we've said before. It kind of comes down to March. Do well in March, you've had a good season.
Michigan State and Michigan both 14-3 in the conference.
All right. So Illinois could definitely thwart the hopes of Michigan's title chances with an upset win at Michigan, but we'll be the underdog. Anyway, here's Tom Izzo, just likable, old school. Michigan State's had 2 coaches in 50 years. 50. Judd Heathcote and Tom Izzo. Unbelievable. You just don't see that anymore. Anyway, why are you guys good, Tom?
They're homegrown, man. They play for the guys before them. They care about Michigan State. I mean, I can't tell you how proud I am of my team and those guys, and God bless them.
Tom, the Big Ten means something to you. You are the Big Ten. You are getting closer to a regular season title. What does that mean to Tom Izzo and Michigan State?
It means we got maybe the team playing the best was, I think, Maryland and Wisconsin. We got them next. Your alma mater. But in all honesty, Andy, I'm not even going to worry about. I'm going to enjoy this win. Get on the plane, start studying Wisconsin. Big Ten does mean a lot to me. You're damn right it does. Like it did to a million guys before me. Carrying on the tradition, Judd.
Appreciate you, Tom.
Pointed to the sky, was
crying.
Judd Heathcote, his mentor, who was the last coach beside Tom Izzo in the early 90s.
Man.
Okay, the news. And then we'll be back. Another exciting hour. Jason Hegemeyer, ticket office. He's a ticket manager. I mean, he's going to try and explain the U of I new ticket deal.
Okay.
And you're welcome to ask questions at 217-359-2255, the Fisher National Bank text line.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
From computer systems to brakes and tires too, at PDR, fixing cars is what they do. Remember, when you turn the key and the car won't run, call 367-9481 or use their dedicated text-only line at 383-0619. Additional information including repair quotes and online scheduling requests available from the website at pdrauto.com. Remember, they are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR.
Jet's Pizza is offering a special deal when you spend $25. Just use promo code 5ADD. That's the number 5ADD and specify Jet's bread or cinnamon sticks for only $5. Combine that with their current $5 off pizza promos and you can cheer on the Illini while enjoying hot pizza with your favorite Jet's bread or cinnamon sticks. What a deal. You spend $25, enter 5ADD for Jet's bread or cinnamon sticks for just $5. Jet's, better because it has to be.
You've changed thousands of diapers, played hours of peekaboo and duck duck goose because you do anything for your kids. That's why it's so important to protect them with life insurance from State Farm. State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow will help make it easy and affordable to help you protect your family no matter what the future holds. Because for the people you do anything for, life insurance could mean everything. Call State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow in Champaign-Urbana today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hi, this is Les Hovland with Philo Exchange Bank. At our banks, we know the hearts of our communities beat with the rhythm of agriculture. Ag lending continues to be something we've excelled at for over 140 years. To you, the farmer, your business has been built on trusted relationships. When it comes to your banking relationship, we want to be your trusted partner.
Philo Exchange Bank, hometown community banking since 1883. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
Let's make a deal. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News. Ukraine's President Zelensky will be at the White House today, called a dictator by President Trump last week.
Did I say that? I can't believe I said that. Next question.
The president yesterday with British Prime Minister Keir Starmer. He expects to sign a deal today for the United States to share Ukraine's natural resources as compensation for all the aid provided for the war against Russia.
One of the big questions today is what security guarantees, if any, are in this proposed agreement with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, which, of course, was what brings him here today. What's in the draft agreement is a 50% mineral rights deal, which gives the United States half of all the minerals and rare earths that comes out of the ground in Ukraine. And we have a description of some of those minerals. I can read them to you. They include titanium, which is used in the F-35 Joint Strike Fighter's bulkheads, lithium used for batteries and smartphones, electric vehicles, graphite, and a key material in steel production, nickel used in battery and jet engine production, cobalt used in rechargeable batteries and EV production.
Fox's Lucas Tomlinson. A federal judge stops the Trump administration from directing mass firings at federal agencies, but says he can't stop agencies from making those decisions independently, the judge says. We're no closer to knowing how actor Gene Hackman and his wife Betsy died.
The two-time Oscar winner and his wife Betsy, along with one of their dogs, found dead at their Santa Fe, New Mexico home on Wednesday after a maintenance worker grew concerned after not seeing the couple for 2 weeks. A police affidavit also revealing the couple's hands and feet showed signs of mummification. Now, according to that affidavit, detectives believe that the circumstances surrounding the deaths are, quote, suspicious enough in nature to require a thorough search and investigation, although they have not said much more than that.
Fox's Todd Pyro. Consumer inflation comes in at 2.5% annually. The Commerce Department says consumer spending was down 0.2% from December to January, the biggest drop in 3 years. America's listening to Fox News.
It's time to throw your overpriced big wireless contract overboard. With a qualifying plan, you can choose an iPhone 14 or a Samsung Galaxy for $0. Pure Talk's U.S. customer service team will make the switch in as little as 10 minutes. No hassle, no gimmicks, just honest-to-goodness wireless price right. Dial pound 250, you say the keywords Pure Talk, claim your new iPhone or Galaxy with a qualifying purchase from Pure Talk, which is America's wireless company. Visit puretalk.com for details.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare information guide absolutely free. Call 800-939-1331. 800-939-1331. 800-939-1331.
Drug lord Rafael Caro Quintero is among 29 people extradited by Mexico to the U.S.
Caro Quintero was set free in 2013 after serving 28 years in prison after his 40-year sentence was overturned for the 1985 kidnapping and killing of DEA agent Enrique Kiki Camarena. 2 leaders of the Los Zetas cartel were also among those turned over to the U.S.
Fox's Lisa Lacera. There are negotiations underway for phase 2 of a ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas.
Egyptian officials said in a statement that intensive discussions have begun between Israel, the United States, and Qatar in Cairo. Phase 2 entails Israel withdrawing from Gaza, but also the Philadelphia corridor, an area between Israel and Egypt, a site that had been used to smuggle weapons into Gaza. Israel says it will not withdraw from this area yet, that Hamas is still quite an active threat. Phase 2 would also entail giving back the remaining hostages. Israel believes 24 of the remaining 59 are alive.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. New orders from the defense secretary give commanders in the field more latitude.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth with a one-word response, correct, confirming the CBS News report that military commanders in the field are being given new authority to call out airstrikes and raids by special operators as the Trump defense team returns to more aggressive counter-terror policies. Under the Biden era, military commanders had to get approvals from 7 decision makers, including the president, before launching a strike. Some of that executive oversight and micromanagement being rolled back, giving commanders in the field greater authority over who to target and when, allowing special ops to be more nimble responding to foreign terror operations. Therese Crowley, Fox News.
Vice President Vance speaks at the National Catholic Prayer Breakfast in D.C.
We will always listen to people of faith and people of conscience in the United States of America. You have an open door to the Trump administration.
I'm Chris Foster. This is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Doug Scott will remain the head of the Illinois Commerce Commission. The Illinois State Senate confirmed him as chairman of the ICC. He was reappointed to a 5-year term in January last year after serving out the remainder of former chairman Kerry Zalewski's term. Scott previously served in the role from 2011 to 2015. Attorneys for a former Sangamon County Sheriff's deputy charged in the killing of Son DeMasi last year wants his trial relocated. Sean Grayson's lawyers filed a motion saying they don't believe he can get a fair trial in Sangamon County due to multiple factors, including extensive media coverage of the case. Illinois touting a growing amount of medical debt relief in the state. The medical debt relief program has abolished more than $220 million in medical debt for another 170,000 individuals statewide. The average amount of debt abolished per person during this round, nearly $1,300. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
And good morning. It is the Friday we've been looking for because it means March is tomorrow.
That's right.
And a week from tomorrow, we'll be springing ahead on the clocks, meaning it'll be light till 7.
My niece, Amelia, was born on Leap Day last year on the 29th, so I guess she's a year today.
Wouldn't it be tomorrow? 29th?
Would you say March 1st, though?
Yeah, how do you celebrate birthdays like that?
I know.
How do you do that?
Every 4 years.
Either pick the 28th or the 1st.
They're just going to say every 4 years they're going to have a big splash.
Yeah.
A party, but
there you go.
Until then, they just kind of say, hey.
I'm 4 years old, right?
Yeah. Exactly, and you really won.
Yeah, right. Okay, so meteorologist Greg Solier has jumped on with us. He's a learned one that tells us darn good, accurate weather, and that's what we look for. What are you looking? I know a little cooler this weekend, but relative to 5 above a week or two ago, I'll take it.
Yeah, and spots that were below zero, not too far to the north and west of us, and that were down in barbarically cold lows of 30 and 40 below over parts of the plains, and they've seen about a 30 to 40 to 50 to 60 to 70 degree spread in the other direction, and winds are about the same here. Anytime you kind of try to balance the atmosphere when you have that kind of cold and this kind of warmth, that gradient, if you will, as we call it, also translates up aloft to wind. And if you get the wind field going and a line on up, you can certainly get that momentum to build on southward, evident with a south wind at 21, gusting 29 miles per hour. We're in Savoy, 40 there, 41 at Rantoul. And so we're just getting ramped up with widespread wind advisories as far southeast as Kentucky into the upper Midwestern areas of the Dakotas and Minnesota. They could hit 60 mile an hour there. Some snow through Michigan, no worries about that. Really no moisture at all till early to mid next week. And there'll be a sizable rain system to come through the area. Matter of fact, maybe severe weather at Johnny's Place and points a little bit northward, and probably a late season snow from Colorado into Minnesota and the upper Great Lakes region. So we'll sit in between. For the day today, sunshine, very windy, but warm. Afternoon temperatures at 64, 20 above average. Heads up on the southwest to west wind, though. Hold on good and tight on the increase at 25 to 35, gust to 45 miles per hour. Windy turning colder tonight, fair 28. West-northwest wind will slowly subside. Still run at 12 to 22 tomorrow. Partly cloudy, breezy, much colder at 36. We'll bottom out in the upper teens tomorrow night. Back up to about 40 on Sunday, 46 on Monday. Then rain back in here for later Tuesday, Wednesday next week. Temporarily into the 50s. We'll cool to the 40s next Thursday and Friday. An inch, maybe inch and a half of much needed rainfall expected for next week. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
All right, buddy. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend. That's meteorologist Greg Solier. Yeah, we are into Friday, February 28th. 2025, and already you'll be saying 3-1-25 tomorrow. So off we go into our final hour again. We'll talk about the Illinois ticket structure and what that means and where you're going to sit. And you know what? I don't know how you win this. It's really hard because I've been sitting in those seats for 40 years and you guys sucked and I paid the money.
Right.
It's just when you make a change. And what I want to ask, one of the questions is, tell me what Michigan State does for basketball, right? Because they're consistently one of the leaders. What's Purdue do for basketball? What does Ohio State do for football? You can't get a ticket to Ohio State. They have 110,000 seats, and they come to Champaign because they can't get a ticket in Columbus. Now, there's 1 million people in Columbus. It's a little different. It's a major city relative to some of the other smaller towns that have colleges and universities. So, in any event, it's positive from the standpoint is there's demand. You know, there used to be suites that you could, brush away cobwebs, and now you can't get them.
Right.
Why? Because we won. And the Citrus Bowl and about 18 starters coming back, or whatever the number is, there's more demand. It's supply-demand. The whole goal is to sell all the tickets. None of you remember, but Mike White was here in the early 1980s and couldn't get a seat. So how many sellouts? 3 years?
Yeah.
In a row?
It was rocking.
We were bad. Late 70s was rough.
But the 80s belonged to the Illini.
That's exactly right. So anyway, I understand, but it doesn't mean you're going to have disappointment when you move somebody off their seat, because they sat there when it was 0-0. Northwestern Illinois football. They were there. And now they got good, and I need you to donate a little bit more. Well, we can't. Well, So you can't win this. You're trying to do what you're supposed to do, and that's get more money for the athletic department. It's the DIA. They're trying to get the money. That's what good and successful programs do. Everybody does. But obviously, you're going, well, wait a minute. What about my loyalty, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, we'll get into that. Try and give you as easy an understanding of how it works if you want to buy tickets and you want to get nicer tickets and a parking pass, and you have to make contributions, how much you have to make, how often is it one time, is it every year? So we'll get some of those questions answered. And again, you're welcome to text in 217-359-2255, and we'll have your text question ready if you need to know anything about the new Illinois ticket structure for football, basketball. Okay, I'm going to get you some sports headlines coming up. Illinois on the road. They leave tomorrow for Michigan. And I don't know. I'm just like you. I don't know. Who's playing? I hope everybody, right?
Right.
But Michigan is obviously one of the premier teams of the Big Ten this year. And, I think Dusty may be a Big Ten Coach of the Year. Michigan, they just weren't very good. And now they are? How'd that happen?
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Okay, Tim Onstad in charge of Dedicated Diesel and Gail Frericks Trucking. Where are we at Dedicated Diesel?
Yeah, we need to get over to the Dedicated Diesel and get those Dixie choppers out. I am instructing Andy over there, whatever Dixie choppers are there right now, to show people what we have invested in them, what our cost is, go $400 over that, and it's theirs.
When it comes to the mowers, you can really get things done quickly on the Dixie chopper, right?
That's for sure.
Oh, yeah. I cut mine down by about 2/3, going from a conventional garden tractor riding mower to a zero-turn Dixie chopper. Went, from 3 hours down to an hour.
And how do we reach Andy?
You can get Andy at 217-328-0562. Catch him on Dedicated Equipment on Facebook. Email him at abowman, BOWMAN, @gftlog.com.
Hi, this is Pam Moore with Philo Exchange Bank. Whether you want to do your banking online or you prefer face-to-face interaction with our friendly staff, Philo Exchange Bank delivers banking that helps you reach your personal or business goals. To us, you're not just another face, you're a part of our family. Visit us at any one of our locations in Philo, St. Joseph, Allerton, or Broadlands, and we'll be here to help.
Philo Exchange Bank, hometown community banking since 1883. Member FDIC.
All righty, Diane with some sports headlines.
Well, it's essentially, taking care of our Illini Nation and finding out where we're playing for our Illini men. It's at Ann Arbor, number 15 Michigan, with a tip-off at 2:45 on Sunday. You could start your day earlier in the game against Michigan with our Illinois women at 12:30 at the State Farm Center as we honor our seniors. So you'll want to get there about noon and be part of all the festivities. And let's have a big showing for our Illini women's basketball team. They've been doing great. Illinois softball in Arkansas. Arkansas ranked number 11. Missouri State also on the tournament. Lots of different teams they'll be playing against, and similar format for Illinois baseball at the Las Vegas College Classic with number 4 o'clock Texas Tech. We have number 15 Texas and Washington involved in that tournament. The number 15 Michigan game coming up on top with the Wolverines beating Rutgers 84-82. In another one of these last-second, essentially half-court shots, right?
28 feet.
Oh.
It's about 7 feet past the three-point line.
Gotcha.
Still, nothing but net at the buzzer. I mean, it's over. Everybody's jumping up and down on each other. So that kind of a look. But
such an exciting
Well,
ending.
think about Rutgers. They are 14 wins and 15 losses. They have 2 players that are going to be in the top 5 of the NBA draft, and they can't have a 500 season? They're both very young, both very talented. Harper and Bailey aren't going to be there next year because they're projected number 4 and number 5 in the NBA draft in June. They're 18. Unbelievable.
Uh-huh.
And yet you're looking, we're not. Look at us. Kasparis and Will Riley, we're going to make the tournament.
Yep.
So at least you got that going for us, but those 2 boys aren't going to be back.
We talked about Pat Bryant participating in the Combine coming up over in Indianapolis. And the goal at visitindy.com is for you to print up that free pass and get your access to Lucas Oil Stadium and all the workouts we're seeing from our Illinois football team and getting ready. Those big ropes. I've seen some video on X of them doing all these really hard workouts and these bursts that you need in the Combine.
It's a scouting thing.
Yeah.
But it's kind of a meat market. I mean, you took the biggest, fastest, strongest, and these guys are in their sleeveless, and you're going, okay, don't want anything to do with that guy, or that guy, or that guy. Or
That's right.
All right, as you celebrate that special person in your life, give them the love letter that lives on, and that's a plan. If you die, and we all are going to die, news flash. Preparing, it's uncomfortable. Maybe you're not comfortable even doing that, superstitious, whatever it is. Just be prepared to meet the Lord. So just your house is in order in your soul. If you get that, that's number 1.
Uh-huh.
Then you want to write it down and say, okay, I want you to sing this song. It's like, ooh, I get it. But Busey suggests that they will appreciate it so much.
Exactly.
Janet's mother, Margaret Menner, one of the greatest women I ever met, had it all laid out.
Yeah. And Benjamin playing the cello. That was a very moving ceremony.
It just to do this is a gift to them.
Uh-huh.
So if you want to give them a gift, they'd really, really appreciate it. According to a survey from Caring.com, more than half of Americans, about 60%, do not have an up-to-date estate plan. Complete a message to my loved ones, no matter your stage in life, from Busey Wealth Management. The packet they have will help you outline your life, your legacy, your wishes. It's kind of fill in the blank. Might not seem relevant right now, but having an estate plan is a key part of your financial wellness too. So for more advice on estate planning and other financial topics, connect with Busey on Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Busey Wealth Management is here to provide you through the estate planning process. Call them at 800-67-BUSEY to discuss your wishes and request a message to my loved ones. Investment products and services are not FDIC insured, may lose value, no bank guarantee. Okay, going to talk to a man who you just unbelievable. This is a Rare Disease Day.
On the 28th here.
Give you more on what we mean about that here in just a second. But this is, if you think you got issues, holy moly. People go through some tough stuff. We'll talk about one next.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Eastern Illinois, Champaign and vicinity. Dynamic weather system poised well to the north with some snow through the northern Great Lakes region. We'll usher in a mild wind-blown day's worth of weather today. Colder air settles in for the upcoming weekend. A modest recovery early next week and an impressive rainmaker. More than an inch expected. We need considering the degree of dryness and drought scheduled in here the first half of next week. But heads up on the wind advisory for the day today. Sunny, rather windy, turning much warmer at 64 at southwest to west wind 15 to 25 on the increase to 20 to 35, gust to 45 to 50 miles per hour later this morning into the afternoon. Tonight, windy turning colder, fair sky and 28, diminishing west-northwest wind for the night tonight, but still runs at 12 to 22 tomorrow. Partly cloudy, breezy, much colder at 36. We'll bottom out near 18 tomorrow night. Sunshine and 40 on Sunday, 46 on Monday. Rain back in late Tuesday and Wednesday next week. High temperatures by Wednesday, briefly back to the 50s. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
This is Rob Meyer with Provident Financial Group. Unfortunately, there is not a one-size-fits-all retirement plan. Finding the right plan for you depends on many factors. The good news is that we can help improve your retirement readiness, whatever your situation. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or online at ProvidentFinancialGroupLLC.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
I'm Liz Clayman, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Inflation hits 2.6% in January, which was expected by analysts. The Federal Reserve's favorite inflation measure, the PCE index, was released this morning. The Commerce Department said the Fed is making modest progress toward the 2% target. Yum Brands stock has climbed over 17% in the past month. Yum Brands is the parent company of Taco Bell. Investors see major growth potential in the fast food chain. Other fast food brands having a hard time keeping up with Yum Brands stock. Shares of Restaurant Brands International and McDonald's both rising about 5% in February. India's economy showing some recovery last quarter. Gross domestic product rose 6.2% in the 3 months to December. A good sign as Prime Minister Modi is looking to expand the nation's economy. And that's your Fox Business Report. I'm Laura Cantor, invested in you.
As President Donald Trump begins his second term.
Promises made, promises kept. We're going to keep our promises.
Stick with the Fox News Rundown as history is made during his first 100 days. Whether it impacts your family, your wallet, or the world, our team of journalists will give you the sharp analysis and perspective you expect from Fox News. The Fox News Rundown, the first 100 days. Listen and follow now at foxnewsrundown.com or wherever you get your favorite podcasts.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
All right, ESPN 93.5. Diane Ducey's right over there.
Good morning.
I am Stevie J. Thank you. We are on X, Stevie JAYFM, and never censored on X.
That's right.
Brian Bloom. First of all, Brian, thank you for always listening to us. I know you've been out there for a long time. Thank you for that.
Oh, you're welcome. Good morning.
Good morning. Okay, I want you to tell people the journey that has been your granddaughter. This is Rare Diseases Day, and explain what has happened in your family.
Yeah, so Rare Disease Day happens once a year on the last day of February, and it's really set out so that we can increase awareness of rare diseases because, you know, frankly, some of the things that our kids are struck with, people have never heard of before, and so we really want to bring awareness to these different things so that we can advocate for better access to, you know, medical support and treatments, and to encourage research and development. We got involved in all this 8 years ago when, out of the blue, a rare disease hit our family and one of our granddaughters. And it was quite a journey because you start with your local doctor or your local emergency room, and they're general practitioners, and then they have to figure out, well, we don't know what exactly what's going on here. And fortunately, we had proximity to a children's hospital, and we were able to advocate, or the parents were able to advocate for their daughter to be sent to the children's hospital. But even there, it was, a good 10 days for them to finally figure out what it was through a process of elimination. They went through all the tests of common diseases, and, you get the test for cancer, and, you go, oh my gosh, and then it's not cancer, but then you go, well, what is it? And in her situation, it was a diagnosis, and then they applied the medication that they happen to have. Not every children's hospital has every medication, but they happen to have this one, and she responded positively to this medication, and that's how she ended up getting diagnosed.
All right, she's 2 years old at the time, so here's a beautiful child of God that doesn't know what the heck's going on, and you're going through all this, and I would have thought that it would have even taken longer, but you did, as you mentioned, find the Cincinnati Children's Hospital. So once you got the information, how did it affect her? What does that mean to have what she has?
Well, she has something that's called systemic juvenile idiopathic arthritis. Now, we commonly go, okay, JA, juvenile arthritis. Okay, I understand that. But then you throw the I in there, and idiopathic means we don't know where it came from. And then to make it even worse, then it's systemic. And systemic means she has arthritis throughout her entire body. So it affects all of her joints, but it also affects her internal organs. I mean, think about that. You get arthritis in your heart. What does that mean? Oh my gosh! And that's what makes this so dangerous and life-threatening potentially. And then there's some complications to that. One of the complications is something called MAS, microphalange activation syndrome, which fortunately she does not have. But there's also refractory disease, which means the medications lose their effectiveness. And that's how we ended up in Cincinnati, because that's where all the research is done in SJIA, and there they're able to apply necessary techniques to her that hopefully will provide a cure. We're the next step for her, because we're out of medications, is a bone marrow transplant, and in that scenario, that could be a cure. But not everyone gets access to that. You either have to be really sick and have this MAS feature, or be out of medications before you have access to something like that.
And isn't this one where you have to protect everybody that has contact with your granddaughter?
Yes, yeah. And, there's she has two sisters, and all three of them are homeschooled because they can't go to a school. One of the sisters could bring home a cold, and that could affect our granddaughter who has the disease. And frankly, a cold or the flu could kill her because it affects her immune system, her inflammatory system, and any deviance from good health could be deadly. And it's we live in isolation. You've seen the movie The Bubble Boy, but that's what this is. You have to be careful everywhere you go. COVID actually was helpful because it made what we do mainstream.
So, Brian, you and your wife are also, just in case you need help, be helpful over there, you're in quarantine too?
Yes.
Wow.
So we stay isolated as much as we possibly can, because if there's a need for any of the grandkids or even mom and dad, we go and we help out with those who aren't, if they have to be separated, we go to help out in that way. And so if we're not clean health-wise, well, then we can't help.
On Rare Diseases Day, an explanation from Brian Bloom. I really appreciate you jumping on. I can pray for you. I don't know what else. It's just so unbelievable, the life you live, Brian. And people aren't aware of it, and they say, man, I'm so mad that guy's turning left. He didn't put his blinker on. I mean, we don't have any problems based on what you just told me. I mean, we have none.
It's a unique arrangement.
Well, hang in there, and thank you for sharing, and a little bit about, rare diseases. I mean, they're just unbelievable. And then they really hit home to somebody we know and love. And Brian, we wish the best for you and say prayers for the Bloom family.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you very much. Appreciate having this time.
Thank you. Brian Bloom is his name from Champaign.
Enlightening us on Rare Disease Day today.
Rare Disease Day, man. So what was the problem you had today again?
Right.
Isolation. For their family.
Yeah.
And for their family.
Uh-huh.
And for their family.
Just in case they get the call. Just to stay as healthy as possible, just to be ready.
Okay. Back in a moment.
Drive in, drive out. Recycling's what Max is all about. You can make some cash and do your share. We make it really simple because we care. It doesn't matter large or small. Our friendly staff will handle it all. Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Attention drivers. When it comes to your car, trust matters. That's why savvy drivers choose PDR Automotive for top-notch service and unbeatable quality. From routine maintenance to complex repairs, their team of expert technicians has the skill and experience to keep your vehicle running smoothly. At PDR Automotive, customer satisfaction is their priority, and they won't rest until your car is back on the road performing at its best. Visit PDR Automotive in Urbana today, family-owned and operated for more than 50 years. They're what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR.
Why use Land's Underground Solutions? We have the team, the technology, the tools, and the most experienced team in the industry.
Hi, it's Wes from Land's Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Our mission at Land's is to provide top-tier service, prioritize our customers with upfront pricing, and maintain exceptional communication. We assure you at Land's we will only recommend what you truly need, from regular maintenance on your home's mechanical systems with the Land's Comfort family to replacement of existing equipment. Now would be a great time to consider updating your HVAC system. Visit us at landsinc.com.
News. I'm Therese Crowley. President Trump welcomes Ukraine's President Zelensky to the White House to finalize a rare earth mineral mining deal to pave the way for ending Russia's war with Ukraine.
The minerals agreement will provide the basis for a more sustainable future relationship between the United States and Ukraine, and thus stimulate the long-term prosperity that will help the Ukrainians rebuild their country. It's been demolished.
President Trump sees the U.S. mining presence as a security guarantee for Ukraine. Attorney General Pam Bondi blames the FBI for withholding thousands of documents on the dead financier and sex offender Jeffrey Epstein that she ordered released. More files expected today. Measles outbreaks now in 10 states, the biggest in Texas. Over 100 cases, mostly unvaccinated children. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Attorneys for a former Sangamon County Sheriff's deputy charged in the killing of Son DeMassey last year wants his trial relocated. Sean Grayson's lawyers filed a motion saying they don't believe he can get a fair trial in Sangamon County due to multiple factors, including extensive media coverage of the case. Illinois touting a growing amount of medical debt relief in the state. The medical debt relief program has abolished more than $220 million in medical debt for another 170,000 individuals statewide. The average amount of debt abolished per person during this round, nearly $1,300. Doug Scott will remain the head of the Illinois Commerce Commission. The Illinois State Senate confirmed him as chairman of the ICC. He was reappointed to a 5-year term in January last year after serving out the remainder of former chairman Kerry Zalewski's term. Scott previously served in the role from 2011 to 2015. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Eastern Illinois, Champaign and Van vicinity. Dynamic weather system poised well to the north with some snow through the northern Great Lakes region. We'll usher in a mild wind-blown day's worth of weather today. Colder air settles in for the upcoming weekend. A modest recovery early next week and an impressive rainmaker. More than an inch expected. We need to consider the degree of dryness and drought scheduled in here the first half of next week. But heads up on the wind advisory for the day today. Sunny, rather windy, turning much warmer at 64. At southwest to west wind 15 to 25. On the increase to 20 to 35, gust to 45 to 50 miles per hour later this morning into the afternoon. Tonight, windy turning colder, fair sky and 28, diminishing west-northwest wind for the night tonight, but still runs at 12 to 22 tomorrow. Partly cloudy, breezy, much colder at 36. We'll bottom out near 18 tomorrow night. Sunshine and 40 on Sunday, 46 on Monday. Rain back in late Tuesday and Wednesday next week. High temperatures by Wednesday, briefly back to the 50s. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
Nice to have Associate Director of Athletics, Ticketing and Sales and Customer Service, Jason Hegemeyer. How are you, Jason? Good morning.
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me this morning.
So you go to your wife, you say, I got this job offer in Champaign, and, you know, the Illini just coming off the 05 run. I mean, this will be easy, working for this ball club, man. I mean, what was that like?
I tell you what, getting here in 2005 was actually, if you remember that time period, there was a lot of optimism. We had just hired Ron Zook. We were getting ready to do a stadium project at football, and the basketball team was coming off the Final Four. So, yeah, there was a lot of optimism at the time period. There was a lot of work to do, but a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Good time to get here.
20 years, man. So you're no longer really a Bronco. You're kind of an Illini, right?
I'm definitely an Illini.
Yeah. Went to Western Michigan Broncos.
Okay, gotcha.
Anyway, Jason, I appreciate you jumping on because I have no idea.
Sure.
I have no idea where
Well,
you're going.
and I just went to the website, fightingillini.com, and I see Illini era, evolve, refine, advance.
That sounds like a fancy way to get more money. I'm sorry. Listen, I don't get it. And all successful programs do this. I mean, hey, man, I have my tickets. And by the way, you're never going to make everybody happy because they're disappointed. They supported through the bad years, and now they're probably being asked for more money. But essentially, what is the structural difference of what we've done and what we're planning to do?
Yeah, that's a great question. And the first thing I'd say is, we actually announced this last spring, right? There's no doubt.
I remember.
There's no doubt we need to make money. There's no doubt we need to gain additional revenue to be able to compete at this highest level. But I'll remind you, we started this when we came off a 5-7 football season and announced all of this. So it's kind of hitting at the right time to maximize revenue. But the intent really wasn't just to make revenue. If you go back to a time period, our donor model used to be, hey, here are the different levels that you can contribute at, and when you donate at a certain level, then it would unlock the ability to buy certain seats in certain locations. That was very confusing. It started to get harder because as more and more people transact using e-commerce, we can't identify you, Stevie J. If you were a $1,000 donor, I can't identify you when you're buying online. You're just looking at seats that are open, but I don't know which seats to tell you you're eligible
I see.
for.
Yeah.
And so we had to really commit to changing our model because more and more of our business is being done online now. In fact, 90% of our single game sales are done online.
Yeah.
So what we need to be able to do is get to a place where someone like Stevie J can sit in his house and look online and say, I want to buy a season ticket in this section, and what is it going to cost me? And so we've switched from a membership-based model to a per-seat model. So now, moving forward, you'll be able to look online and say, I'd like to sit in section 127.
Mm-hmm.
How much are those seats? And when you look at the map, it'll say, here's the cost of the tickets, and here's the required iFund contribution per seat to buy that. So you can actually shop at home now before talking to us or before making any purchases.
Gotcha.
We really needed to get to that point because so much of our business, like I said, is going online. And let's be honest, nobody transacts. We're talking about, in my family, this is a big expense, right? In most families, this is a big expense. You have to plan for it.
Yeah.
And people want to do their research, and they need to be able to do it online. And so we needed to get to a place that modernized where you could actually look and see where do I want to sit? How much is it going to cost me? And you want to do it in a manner where, like, look, when I go buy a car, I look everything up online before I get to that lot because I don't necessarily want to talk to this. I know I have to talk to the sales guy for a little bit, but I want to know what that cost is and what I'm getting and how we differentiate between the cars that are out there. People want to do that with seats too. And so this was just us finally taking that step to be able to compete in a modern e-commerce world because we know so much of our business and so many of our fans are starting to transact that way.
Okay, I understand all of that. I think the disappointment among the townies, I guess I can call us, the people that are saying, hey, Harold and Barbara had these seats, and now they've been displaced. I mean, that's not the first time this is going to happen. However, I would just say, how does Michigan State do basketball? How does Ohio State do football? We haven't had the luxury of being good for a long period of time and everything. And so you're I'm sure we're not the only people doing this kind of thing. We're probably even trailing in pace to do this kind of thing. Would that be true?
We haven't reseeded football. We haven't reseeded football since the Illinois Renaissance Project, which I referred to when I first started here.
Wow.
Back in 2007. So that was when the press box was built and the student section was put in. We haven't actually reseeded football since then, and the men's basketball inside State Farm Center hasn't been reseeded since we built the building. So that would have been 10 years ago.
Okay,
so
yeah. Has it been 10 years on the renovation?
Yep, 10 years now.
Really? I can't believe that.
Well, I should say, I'm rounding up. It was 2016 we played our first season.
But close
there.
enough. Unbelievable. All right,
Yeah.
so the whole thing is I guess, from one perspective, from your perspective, is saying, yay, we have demand. How about that? The fact that the football team and the Citrus Bowl and all this stuff gave you a bounce. You did plan this before, and we at 5-7. You were probably a little nervous. In fact, I mentioned to Josh Whitman, I said, how did you do Michigan? You built this up for a year and a half when we weren't great, and you come in and we win. That was a remarkable leap of faith, I guess, huh?
Well, I would say, first of all, to answer your first question is we're saying yay all the time right now, right? Because we're having a lot of success, and it's about, what's happening inside the arena, what's happening on the field. Those teams are competing at a super high level right now, and we're putting together some really, really good seasons, right? And there's a lot of optimism, and the fan base is growing. It's growing at rapid levels, right? So I would tell you, of course, is the timing working out well for us as an athletic department? It sure is, right? But we absolutely need it. We absolutely need it. We need it if we want to continue to compete at the highest levels. You can tell what's going on in the country, and if you look at what's happening in college athletics with the House settlement and the revenue share for next year, and the way that things are structurally going to change, we have to generate additional revenues. And so, yes, this is lining up to coincide with some success, and it should net us a little bit more than what we were planning on. But let's go back to the beginning. We didn't do it with the intent necessarily of only making money, of raising revenue. That wasn't the sole intent. The sole intent really was to modernize and get people to be able to have more control over what they're buying online. So that was the primary thing. So, yeah, it is timing out well. It is getting ready to start. Today I believe March 1st is tomorrow, but today's our last day in the office for it. But as of March 1st, that would be the last date by which people could donate and have it be applied towards their football seat selection. So here's how things are going to work. Today and tomorrow, we're going to be really, really busy. People are going to be making last-minute contributions. And then once we get to next week, we're going to look at all the season ticket holders. We're going to look at all of them and see what they've contributed at. And then we're going to rank them. We're going to rank them by their donor levels and their priority points. And then we're going to create appointment times, seat selection appointment times, where, Stevie J, I might say to you, here we go. We're going to start picking seats. We're going to start on March. The process starts March 25th. Stevie J, your appointment's at March 27th at 10:45. And here's all the information you need to know to log in. Go ahead and pick your seat.
Wow. Okay.
So
based on the whole picture, the whole ball of wax of what I've given, what I'm giving, everything, and then I'm eligible for this because I gave that.
That's right. So when you log into the system, it'll identify, because you're going to have to log in. It'll say, Stevie J, here's how much you gave this year. Here's how much money you can use for your per seat requirements. And you'll go pick out your locations, and the system will do all the tabulations for you, and it'll tell you. Most of the time, people are giving right now ahead of time, so they're probably not going to have to check out having to pay for anything more than just the tickets.
Mm-hmm.
But if you do pick seats that are if you log in and you're like, wow, there's seats on the 50-yard line I didn't know would be available to me, you can go ahead and pay the per seat gift at that time, and you can go ahead and pay for the tickets at that time too. So it's it's going to take us a while to work through everybody. We have over 6,000 people that'll have appointments right now.
Okay.
And, but again, it's a blank slate right now, right? And so anytime you do that, I was telling someone the other day that you're going to have 50% of the people in round terms that are probably going to just pick seats, and they're not emotionally attached to like where they sit, right?
Right.
You have 25% of people who are going to be really, really jazzed about this whole process because they might end up with better seats than what they had.
Right.
And then you'll have 25% that might not get as good a seats as what they had before. And we're aware of that, right? Like the great thing about college sports is people are so emotionally attached to it. That's what's different it's what makes it, in my opinion, better than pro sports.
No question.
It's because people have an emotional attachment to their team, their community, their state, and even goes down to their exact seats. They like knowing when I come to a game, I come to the exact same spot. We get that. We cultivate that. We want that, right? But we have to do this right now, and there's just we have to modernize.
Yep.
We could not continue to grow at the same pace that we were growing without doing this.
Jason Hegemeyer, a few more minutes here, Associate Director of Athletics, Ticketing and Sales and Customer Service. When you say donate to the iFund, the numbers, the levels can be different. $1,000. I mean, I can't imagine. I'm sure people are, tens of thousands of dollars at this point, right?
There are. I mean, there are people. There are people all over this community that have the ability to do different things, right? But what I would make sure that people understand is like there are seating options for everyone. We have some seats on the 50-yard line that are going to be expensive, but we've remained committed to making sure that we have some lower priced areas as well. And if you look, the horseshoe is the season ticket, and the horseshoe is going to be priced at $98 again this year.
Wow.
And that is the cheapest season ticket in the Big Ten, right? So, I've seen a lot of publications that are predicting us to be in the top 15 ranked teams in the country as we start next year. We're still selling a $98 season ticket. And that's a lot of horseshoes.
That's remarkable when it's less than a movie. Right?
That's right.
It's really, really good. In fact, when you're talking about ranked and all that, Gabe Ackus I saw, and he told me, he said, playoffs are bust, baby. Playoffs are when we can think about the playoffs. That's unbelievable growth. It is amazing that we're thinking about that.
It's an absolute mindset shift, right? Like we our fans right now, are like I said, the growth we're seeing in season tickets is incredible, right? And the numbers last year tell a really good story. We had 2 sellouts. We haven't had sellouts since the North Carolina game. I think it was Lovey's first year. We had 2 sellouts last year. We're averaging close to 55,000 people per game. Wow. That's an incredible
such a leap.
Growth.
I mean, listen, I've been around here a long time, Jason, and I'm going, okay, 38 today, maybe 40 if we have 55? Come on, man. We're going to be sorry we cut all those seats. I mean, I was there when it was 76,700 for Michigan. Come on.
Right.
Yeah, and I think it just illustrates, like I said, it illustrates like we have to be responsible stewards of the program, and you see the growth that's happening, and we need to make it easier for people to buy tickets. So the method needed to be easier, and so that's why we had to implement this now, so we can continue to capitalize on that growth and continue. And people have an expectation when they transact with you now online. You know which websites are easy to use and which ones are not. We all know that. There are certain places that are super easy, and we know they're successful companies. Amazon figured that out a long time ago, right? It's so easy to buy something on Amazon.
I know you guys. A lot of work.
We're not Amazon.
Yeah.
We're not Amazon, but we're trying to get closer to make that experience a lot better because we have to, because we have so many more people that are interested in coming to Illinois football games.
Well, and really, Jason, this is starting as soon as tomorrow as far as these deposits for non-refundable $50 per seat, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, absolutely, right. And that's what I'd say. Like, I would be remiss if I didn't leave this phone call by saying, like, we still have room for people, right? Like, we're still selling. We actively are selling season tickets still. We're taking deposits right now, though, because we can't. Obviously, we're getting ready to go through this reseat. Nobody knows what seats they have next year. After all of our current season ticket holders have chosen their seats, and they're all slotted in for next year, then we're going to go to those people who made deposits and let them pick out seats as well. So it's going to be important if you're thinking about buying season tickets for Illinois football next year, you definitely should go ahead and get that deposit in today or tomorrow so that we can identify you and know that you're interested. And then we will give you an appointment time as part of this process so that you can go in and pick out your seats before we go to the general public.
Otherwise,
So
you're left with what you're left with, right? If you don't get in there.
That's correct.
Yeah, okay.
You're just helping yourself. If you've already made this up in your mind that you're going to do this, you definitely should make the deposit so you can jump ahead of people, because once we release it to the public, then anybody will buy it.
Gotcha. Well, it's again, from the standpoint of the university and you, this is awesome. But again, you're well aware that people have been murmuring about this for a while and think it's too much and all this other stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Like, we're human beings too, right? Like and I'm a consumer as well, and I empathize with all that. I talk to a lot of those ticket holders, and we know them. I've been here 20 years. I have a lot of friends who have had conversations with me about it. Again, I'm just going to keep going back to
have to do it.
It is what's
growth. What it is. The big programs do it all over the place, which was my point. Is that if you go to any really good program, this is probably nothing compared to what they've done, because they're going to charge even more because they've had the history over and over.
Yeah, and I think the important thing to remember too is people often look at it through the lens of their own personal experience, as they should, as a consumer. Like, this is the seat that I had, and this is how much I paid, and now it might be going up. But I would really, really, really encourage everyone to think a little bit differently, because we are reseating. The whole stadium is open. There are going to be pricing options for everybody, so no one should feel like they're priced out. They may feel like the seat that they had before went up a little bit, but there are going to be plenty of affordable options within Memorial Stadium. So everyone will still have an opportunity to choose at a level that they feel like is right for their family. There's going to be availability. So I feel like we've done a really good job of making sure we've lowered those barriers of entry, that we're still allowing ourselves a room for growth, and allowing people to make their own decisions about how much they want to spend on Illinois football. Right? Everyone needs to make that own personal decision. I think if we get past the emotional part of I've always had this exact seat, once we get through that, you're gonna find that there's gonna be a lot of good seating options.
Well, Jason, good news. I've just thought of another profession for you if you're interested.
What's that?
That's after 2 canceled flights, you're going to be at the ticket gate with me explaining to the consumer what happened. Because you're really good at this, and you probably talk to a lot of people where you have to just kind of hang in there with them because they are mad. But that's you got a good demeanor about you. I can see why you're doing what you're doing.
There you go.
I'll tell you what, right? I don't look at it. I like to talk. First of all, I do like to talk to people, and I like to connect with people, and so I feel like. I learned this a long time ago. I read this in a book that I want to sell products that people want to buy. I don't want to sell things and ask people to buy that product.
Right.
You want to make sure you have a product that people actually want, right? And the great thing about being in Illinois is right now people want it. As CBJ, we've been here a long time. This community, like, this is different. People want this product, and the enthusiasm and the excitement about Illinois football and Illinois basketball. It's so weird that we keep talking about football, right? Like, being in this community for a long time, basketball is what carried hope here for so long, right? But the excitement for both teams right now is at such a high level, and it's great to see. And I already said it before. It's what I believe makes this place different than a Bears fan. Like, when you're an Illini fan, you are connected to the program. You feel like we have people who've supported this program for decades. They live in the town. They work at the university. Their kids may have went here. There's just so many connections that make you feel attached to the university, and that's what makes people passionate about it. And I love talking to them.
No, you're great at what you do. There's no doubt about it. I can tell.
I appreciate it. But I tell you what, it's a pleasure. I mean, it's a pleasure to talk to people who actually care about this university so much. And so you can't have a great fan base if they're not connected like that, if they don't care. And we know that.
We had a call in asking about music concerts and things like that. I mean, we see it at Memorial or at Soldier Field and Wrigley and things like that. Will Memorial Stadium ever host big concerts? We got the 40th anniversary of Farm Aid coming up in September.
Yeah, I think that is a question. That's a topic that we've actually had discussions on internally. I know like there's some timing things and there's some dates that would have to work out. They would have to be at certain times of the year, right? Because it is a football stadium where we play games or practice things.
Mm-hmm.
But the timing of some of those tours would have to work, and I am sure that we would love to have some of those national tours come to Memorial Stadium. I know there's active work in the background being done to see if that's possible. But as of right now, we don't have any large announcements to make on that.
All right, Jason, I really appreciate the minutes today explaining Illinois ticket policy and what's happening. Where do people go to get it going today or tomorrow?
Well, call our office at 866-Illini-1. We'll get you to a rep today that can talk you through the process if you're interested. Of course, I mentioned big emphasis on transacting online, right? So if you go to fightingillini.com, you should be able to get to our ticket office and make a deposit for football tickets if that's what you want to do. You should be able to make your contribution if that's what you want to do. There's all kinds of things you should be able to do on fightingillini.com. But, of course, we're here to help today. We're here to talk. Right?
All right.
So
That's
awesome. Give us a call if you need it.
Jason, thank you for your time. Jason Hegemeyer, appreciate it very much. Thanks for the explanation. We'll see you and talk to you soon. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Jason Hegemeyer, University of Illinois Tickets and Associate Athletic Director.
Go Illini.
All right. We'll see how it all unfolds. But, yeah, again, success brings this kind of receding.
We're just evolving like everybody else.
Yeah, and I don't blame the people who said I've sat there forever and now I don't. Yeah, I get it.
But it could be that you can keep sitting there as long as you get your things in soon.
Yeah. So today, tomorrow, if you're interested.
That's right.
Diane, we thank you.
Enjoy the weekend.
We're out of time. We will meet again Monday, God willing. And thank you for listening. The boys this afternoon on The Drive. Illinois plays at Michigan. Sunday afternoon, the women play in Champaign. You want to go to the last home game for the women. They've had another great year. So we'll be on track with all of that Monday. I am Stevie J. That's Diane Ducey. Have a great and blessed weekend. You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
It's time to plan your summer swimming season. Urbana Park District is selling pool memberships to Crystal Lake Park Family Aquatic Center. Memberships are on sale through April. The pool opens Memorial Day weekend. Single, family, senior, and veteran rates available. Purchase memberships in person at Phillips Recreation Center, 505 West Stoughton, or at Urbana Indoor Aquatic Center. Call 217-367-1544 for details. Urbana Park District, you belong here.
Hi, I'm Tyler Weaver, president of Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery. It's time to come home to Carpet Weavers. We don't want you to just like your new floors. We want you to love them. From waterproof floors and carpet to furnitures and design advice, we've got a team of experts on your side. We'll get you the best price and the best quality products. And complete your home with furniture and accessories. Buy it all with free financing too. Come home to Carpet Weavers, where floors, furniture, and family meet.
Okay, Tim Onstad in charge of Dedicated Diesel and Gail Frericks Trucking. Where are we with Dedicated Diesel?
Yeah, we need to get over to the Dedicated Diesel and get those Dixie choppers out. I am instructing Andy over there, whatever Dixie choppers are there right now, to show people what we have invested in them, what our cost is, go $400 over that, and it's theirs.
When it comes to the mowers, you can really get things done quickly on the Dixie chopper, right?
That's for sure.
Oh, yeah. I cut mine down by about 2/3 going from a conventional garden tractor riding mower to a zero-turn Dixie chopper. Went, from 3 hours to under an hour.
And how do we reach Andy?
You can get Andy at 217-328-0562. Catch him on Dedicated Equipment on Facebook. Email him at abowman, BOWMAN, @gftlog.com.
At Pards in Urbana, the boots just keep on coming. They're known for their huge collection of men's cowboy boots, women's cowgirl boots, kids' boots, and even shoes. If you're searching for top footwear brands, look no further than Pards. They carry a wide variety, including Ariat, Dan Post, Smoky Mountain, Roper, Double H, and more. And if socks or accessories are what you need, they've got all your high-quality essentials. Since 1968, Pards has been serving their customers with high-quality merchandise. And if you haven't been to Pards in a while, a lot has changed. Go check them out just off University Avenue in Urbana.
Here's what new customers are saying about Interstate Batteries.
It's nice to see capable and helpful associates. They did a top-notch job.
They were easy to talk to and explained everything.
Service was prompt and I was a walk-in. Total service time was only like 20 minutes. I highly recommend Interstate Batteries.
Interstate Batteries, outrageously dependable. How much is dependable worth? Experience them for the first time at 2504 North Mattis. Way out there, but worth the drive. Interstate Batteries, outrageously dependable.
Visit interstatebatteries.com.
Illinois basketball season is underway. Single game tickets to see your Fighting Illini at State Farm Center are on